Manual mode, Sport S Plus. Welcome to Downshift. My name is Matt, and this is the best car in the world. Maybe it's not the best car in the world, but it is my favorite car. I ask for a go in this press car every single year, and I've had a go in it basically every single year since 2019. It was one of my first, within the first 5 or 10 press cars that I ever had, and it has been living rent-free in my head ever since. And bonus content, after we go through everything that you should know about this, or maybe some point throughout the video, we actually had a chance to take this thing up to Road America this weekend because it was IMSA Sports Car Weekend up at Road America. So I got to go behind the scenes with Lexus Racing and Vassar Sullivan Racing, and it was an incredible experience. So I'm going to show you a little bit of that, and there's the full in-depth behind the scenes video on the channel now. But for now, we're going to show you everything that you need to know about the Lexus LC500. And as usual, we're going to start the piece with the odds and ends, but this time we're actually going to start something counterintuitive to what I just said about this being the best car in the world. We're actually going to start with a couple things that this car is lacking. And more specifically, we're going to start with the seats. Now in a Mercedes SL, you can get a neck scarf in your convertible. It's going to blow hot air on the back of your neck as it starts to get into the fall months and cool down. You're also not going to have massage seats, which you could get in an SL, but you're not going to get this white and blue interior that we have on our Bespoke build on a Mercedes. This is an incredible feature and definitely worth paying for. But another thing that this thing is kind of missing is any more robust ambient light. You get a soft glow with a little bit of technically ambient light, but it's not going to be anywhere near as dramatic as the Mercedes ambient light. Also worth noting, there is one cup holder in this car, and that's it. You can kind of fit a bottle in here, but it's going to fall over the second you accelerate, brake, or turn, drive at all. So there's one cup holder in this entire car. And like I mentioned, this is the convertible, and the convertible top is also blue to match the interior. It goes down in 15 seconds, up in 16 seconds, and you can operate it at speeds up to 31 miles an hour. You've also got this button on your center console that looks like the heated seat button, and it is kind of the heated seat button. It pulls up your seat controls for your heated and cooled seats, and also your climate concierge, so it has an auto setting so it can sense the ambient temperatures and then set your cooled or heated seats accordingly. All right, with those odds and ends covered, let's zoom back out and talk about what this is. This is Lexus's flagship, their Halo car. This is their Grand Touring Luxury 2+2. And I say 2+2 a little bit generously when it comes to the convertible, but it competes against things like Mercedes SL55, maybe 63 AMG, although not really the 63 to be sure, but certainly better than that SL43 that we had to go in, that 4-cylinder. And I guess you can kind of think of this thing as a competitor to the BMW M850 convertible. But what's new for 2025 then? Well, there's some additional bracing under the floor for rigidity, and this beautiful Iridium silver that we have replaces the old atomic silver. You've also got a new interior option, I believe, and you've got a reshuffling of the Bespoke build options. You can get red and blue roofs for the convertible as standalone options. We've got the blue one here, and it looks fantastic with this interior. And the 2026 details have also been debuted already, so we might as well touch on them here, even though this is a 2025. You can get an Inspiration series. They're going to bring 350 units of that to North America. You've got Wind as a new color, and the MSRP for the convertible jumps up for 2026 to $109,200. But then we'll dive under the hood, talk about my favorite part, and the reason that I say that this is the best car in the world, or at least my favorite car in the world. Under the hood, you have lurking the 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 that we've come to know and love over the years. Here in the LC, it's making 471 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque. Those aren't going to blow anyone's doors off these days, but it certainly will when they hear it. It's good for about 18 mpg according to the EPA, but we did our own Lakeshore loop and came back with about 20.7 mpg. We would have done better, but the entire country road section I spent in Sport S Plus at like the top half of the rev range, because that's where this car shines, let me tell you. The exhaust is tuned by Yamaha and it shows, but it is just a fabulous thing to drive and to hear. And power goes from that V8 through the 10-speed automatic, and this is important. This is the thing that makes it so much better than the IS500, the RCF, and even the old GSF. This 10-speed automatic is so much sharper than the 8-speed in those cars. And it is a reason that I disqualified the IS500 when I was considering buying my M340i. But this 10-speed with this 5-liter in the LC is perfection. Now you do have a multi-link front and rear suspension and does 0 to 60 in about mid 4-ish seconds. So again, an M850, it's gonna be quicker. An SL55 and 63, it's gonna be quicker, but neither of those is gonna have the character and the bravado of this. And as we talk about some of the dynamics and performance stuff, I'm just gonna read from my list here while showing you some of the footage from our parade lap in the LC500 at Road America this weekend. Now the curb weight is about 4,340 pounds. We do have a sport package here, which gets a Torsen LSD in the back, and we do get performance rear dampers. We've also got upgraded brake pads and Alcantara seats and Pilot Sport S5 tires, which were certainly helpful around mid-corner and corner entry. But like I mentioned, the entire experience revolves around the sound. Now I mentioned before we have a bespoke car, which means it comes with an LSD and the adaptive rear damper and a plaque inside and a certificate of authenticity. I should also mention we do have the active sports exhaust that opens up about mid RPM, so it's fairly tame, around 3,000–4,000 RPM, and then really starts to bellow and come to life in the upper half of the rev range. Can you tell that I like the sound? Also, it's worth noting when you're not on track and just driving around day to day, the ride is also very good. It is still a Lexus luxury car. It can still do that too. But here's the rest of our time on track at Road America.
Dude, the GS is kind of like pushing though.
I can tell, yeah.
He's kind of like pushing.
He's working it.
Yeah, he's trying.
We can take him anytime we want, but he is moving. Yikes.
Grant's at turn 7.
Sketch, dude.
On the right side by Corbin Ridge. Where's
that? Slow as through the kink, leave a gap. That GS is hustling.
Yeah.
Oh?
What the hell was that?
What the helly? Yeah, you might be right.
I don't like that jerk though.
Favorite car, favorite track. Woo! And when it comes to styling, sure, it has similar Lexus styling cues, but nothing else on the road really captures this thing's presence. But like I mentioned, the new color for 2025 is this Iridium silver. And I have to say, I'm yet to see another car brand do silver as well as Lexus. And it shows here on this Iridium LC. You've got an enormously long hood with a totally Lexus face up front. But around the side, you have the best wheels I've ever seen spec'd on this car. We had them last year and we have them this year. They're the 21-inch wheels. They're the optional wheel. And they're a whopping $40. Yes, $40, which is just unbelievable. My dinner last night, the lunch that I just had with my wife today, cost more than $40. Also, I will say, my personal opinion, I do prefer the silhouette and the styling of the coupe over the convertible, but that's just my opinion. We do have pretty subtly flared rear hips, but it does look pretty imposing with the convertible top down and the enormous rear deck. The taillights do have that 3D design with a kind of darkened chrome upper that translates to the rest of the accents around the body. And down below we have dual port exhaust with 4 actual outlets. And I just have to say, the styling on this LC500, it was the same in 2018, 2019 when I first had a go, and it's the same today. It looks spectacular. And we are going to talk trunk. The button for the release is offset in the taillight, and it is not a powered trunk, just something worth noting, I guess. It's not a huge deal. Maybe you'll get a power trunk in an SL or an M850, but the space itself is, I think, technically rated at 3 cubic feet. You can see I've got enough space for my tripod, my film backpack, my Lexus racing hat. Again, shout out to Lexus Racing and Vassar Sullivan for my incredible experience this weekend. If you don't go for the convertible, if you go for the coupe, you'll get 2, count them, 2 more cubic feet of space, 5 cubic feet of space in the back of your LC coupe. So that is clearly the family choice of LC, but even still here in the convertible, you're going to use these rear seats as part of the trunk anyway. And speaking of rear seats, I'm not even going to bother getting back here because I literally don't think I could get back out. These are not fit for people. This is my driving position naturally, and this is where the passenger sits naturally, and there is literally no space. So it's technically a 2+2, but you'd be lucky to get anyone but children or dogs back here. But to be fair, they still have nice stuff. We've got this magnet control for your seatbelt. You've got a Mark Levinson speaker kit back here. It's decent. I mean, it's all the same nice materials and accenting and everything. It's just not gonna fit people back there, at least not anyone with legs. But also shout out to the Lexus L's embossed on the back of the front seats. Very cool touch. But we will take a minute to talk about the front seats. Now to release the door, you press that little button and it gives you the handle. And then you can open the door. The door is a mile long, as you would expect from a coupe or convertible like this. We've got 3-person memory, and again, the most incredible interior you've probably ever seen. This white is amazing. The blue or the navy is incredible. I like, this is smart that they've done the steering wheel in navy and not white. Maybe it'd be nice to have like a white inner for your airbag cover to really kind of set it across the top. I don't know, I like nautical stuff, so this certainly works for me. Anyway, back to the seats. Wildly comfortable, as you would expect from a Lexus. They're 3-level heated, they're 3-level cooled. We talked about the fact that it doesn't have massage, it doesn't have a neck scarf, but it is still wildly comfortable in these seats. The seating position makes sense. I can see out over this dash, beautifully leather lined. We'll talk about that in a second, but the seats, seating position, very good. But we will talk about the cabin experience overall. We already touched on a bunch of this stuff. Yeah, the seats, the interior, the colors, the designs, everything is incredible. But it goes a step further than that. Have you ever seen a more ornate door pull than this? No, probably not. Have you ever seen a more detailed design through your door card and across your dash than this? No, probably not. You've got this beautiful metallic bar that softly opens the glove box. You've got a little storage netting down there and a nice grab handle. Now in most other cars, this would probably creak and rattle. This is solid as a rock right here. And this is certainly worth noting. You do have a little bit of storage in your center console here. You can put things like your phone and your wallet there, but there's also a way to open it on that side. But the convertible controls are right here. This is where you used to rest your arm to work the trackpad. Don't need that anymore. Full touchscreen, we'll get to that. But this is where your convertible controls are. Again, we talked about the roof and the window control that operates all your windows at once. Just very, very clever. Everything in here is incredibly well built. The quality, the materials is just top tier. Top up. Here we go. Now, I believe the top is like triple layer. And with the top up, it is legitimately quiet. We'll talk about that in a bit. I do want to talk about technology. I put the top up so I don't have to bake in the sun while I was doing it. Also worth mentioning, your drive controls are up here on your like padded leather wrapped dash hood, which is just spectacular. I feel there's something, I don't know, there's something special about reaching up here to change your drive modes, and I end up doing it a lot. When it comes to your technology, you do have a full head-up display. It's great, I love it. You do have the coolest instrument cluster in the world. That line, that circle here is physical, and when I push this button, it moves. I love that. I've always loved that. Everyone loves that. You can't not love that. But over here, this was the big update for 2024. Full touchscreen, no more touchpad down here, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. It's all the new Toyota Lexus stuff. Again, we've got CarPlay, Android Auto, all that stuff. You throw it into reverse. You've got great 360 cameras. You throw it into park and you hit the camera button, and we've got egg view because wouldn't be a Toyota or a Lexus without egg view. But you've got over-the-air updates, and you've got pretty much everything that you could want from a tech perspective. You come over here, you've got Lexus Safety Sense 2.5 as standard. I'm a little mixed on this safety suite. I've actually driven it in pretty much every other Lexus and Toyota, but the lane keep was just ping-ponging me quite a bit. I actually ended up leaving the lane assist off for the most part. The adaptive cruise, perfectly fine, but the lane assist was not my favorite. And last thing that we'll talk about before we go for a bit of a drive is the price. Now, the coupe for 2025 starts at $101,000, $101,200. The convertible starts at quite a bit more, $108,400, both a couple grand more than the 2024. Now, we've got the bespoke build, like I mentioned before. That's how we get the incredible interior. That's an extra $5,500. To go for the bespoke build on the coupe, it's only an extra $3,600. So you are paying a premium for the convertible. And again, I personally would have a coupe, but that's just me. Now, as tested with everything that we've got here, we're just a hair under $120,000. And that may sound like a lot of money, but when you consider that the SL55 or 63, that's gonna be tens of thousands of more dollars. So with that, let's get behind the wheel and talk a little bit more. Hey guys, real quick, Matt here. Just wanted to say I hope you've been enjoying the video. If you have, would really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it does go a long way in helping us get access to cars sooner and get access to manufacturer engineers so we can get more information on the cars and get you more information so you can make better decisions. So would really appreciate you hitting that subscribe, like, comment, the whole YouTube thing. But with that, let's get back to the video. I think people think I'm joking when I say this is my favorite car in the world. I'm not, and I can show you exactly why in 10 seconds. Manual mode. Sport S Plus. Ready? Oh my God! How does that not just light your heart on fire? My whole chest is engulfed in flame. And the thing is, here's the thing, this is a multi-parter, this is called professional journalism. The SL500 is faster, the SL63 is faster, the M850 from BMW, it's faster, but they don't sound like this. And that is accessible every day without going felony jail speeds. That is the business. Oh, careful this guy on his walk. And then open it up. It just doesn't get old. My wife doesn't care about cars. She doesn't care. But she loves this car. Everyone that I take in this car for a ride loves this car. And they ask me if I'm getting one the next year. It is unbelievable. The sound, the drama, the character that you get in the LC500. Right-hander. Down the box. Unbelievable. Unbelievably fun. All right, I'm gonna cool this off so I can talk about other things for a second. This is a GT car. This is not a sports car. I'm gonna be real with you. And as a result, like I mentioned, it's not the fastest thing out there, but it also does the split personality, the thing that I want more and better than something like an M850 or something like an SL63 or 55. It just settles down. Even with the convertible, you put the top up and it is a Lexus luxury car. It's quiet, it's refined, it doesn't beat you up. You can start it in the morning and go to the airport at 4 a.m. without waking up your wife. Well, maybe. But the point is, it can fit into your life and just be a luxury car. I drive cars all the time. I'm constantly assessing it, and like mentally it is fatiguing. This is gonna sound horrible, like I'm complaining about having the dream job, but like there are times when I wanna get behind the wheel of a car and not go 10 tenths and not just like rag on it. Sometimes I just want to go and just be in luxury, be in comfort, just drive, just cruise. And this does that, and it does it so well. And it still brings me the excitement and the drama and the giggles when I put it back up into Sport Plus and I'm rowing through 10 speeds and just cracking downshifts. It just does everything so well. It does everything that I want so well. And I love this car. And I'm like searching for more things to say, more intelligible things to say, but we've done a review on this car every year for the past like 6 years. And I feel like I've probably covered everything that needs to be said about this car. It is incredible. It is pretty easily my favorite car on sale today. And yes, I still want one. And yes, I still plan to have one. And having spent the weekend up at Road America with Lexus Racing and the Vassar Sullivan team and having this thing out on track with my wife on Sunday, I think she wants one too now. So with that, thank you to Lexus once again for letting me have a go in the LC. Thank you for letting me have that backstage or kind of behind the scenes experience with the race team, with the Vassar Sullivan team. Thank you to everyone that was involved in that experience. It was incredible. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.